Right, it says we're live. It's quite a bit of a delay actually, for some reason. But never mind. Let's crack into it. So weird because I can't see my own face. Pitman NBC is straight in there. Hey up. Hey up. Let me just get myself all set up. God, we've got a few people in here. Sam Bitcoin advertiser. G'day, mate. Strafe. Thanks for joining, guys. Russell says hello. He's straight in there as well. A few of you guys. Thank you for joining. So I suppose I should get into it. Hi guys, my name's Glenn. This is my channel, Glen, and obviously I'm trying to vlog for you guys as I go along what's happening in the world of cryptocurrency for myself. Russell says Sol Goodman. What does that mean? And what is happening to me today? Today is an exciting day because today is the very first day of my Z9 Mini mining. So I spent quite a large amount of time yesterday from about 9 o'clock in the afternoon to about 1 in the morning trying to set up the Z9s, which are actually just behind me here. So I'm wearing earphones today because if I do it through the computer, it picks up all the background noise, so you can hear the humming quite badly from what I've heard from someone who's helped me test it out. So hopefully the earphones are giving you a bit better sound. So Stephen says, did they come with OC settings? Some forums say B2 Z9 minis have got theirs with OC settings. So I assume you mean obviously the overclocked settings. So it's gone straight in there. He wants to know the answer straight away. Doesn't want to flirt or anything. He just wants to go bam, bam, bam. So set this all up last night, and I will be doing a video actually that talks through. Some of you may be experienced enough and won't need to know it. But what I'm going to do is a walkthrough guide how to set up a Z9 Mini for noobs, and obviously how to get over the overclocking issue. Pitman says, is it loud, mate? No, it's not that loud actually. It's just like you know, like if you hear someone in the next room hoover and you can hear the hoover but it's not really bothering you, you can just hear it. That's what it's like in the background, just a very light hum, like a so yeah, I think it's fine. The only thing is they are making the room a bit warmer, so I have actually bought a temperature gauge. So at the moment it's reading that it's 32 degrees up there. I've bought a watt meter plug, so it tells me exactly what electricity it's using. So I'll get onto all the juicy stuff in a second. So yeah, in answer to your question, Stephen, no, I couldn't overclock it. So when you go to miner configuration and you click advanced settings, here it would just say, I think it's saying like balance, but basically it doesn't let you change it. So what you have to do is you have to go and download the old firmware for the old Z9s, and then it allows you to play about with these settings here, and you can see it goes all the way up to 750 again. But as someone pointed out to me, one of the Team Bitglen, he said I think they've actually changed the hardware. He thinks the Z9 Mini Batch 2s are actually made out of some sort of cheaper components because they're not allowing as much power output as they used to. So he believes that Bitmain have tried to cut costs somewhere. What this means for us is that it won't allow up to 750 frequency, which is what everyone was getting, the 16 to 18k souls and all that. Now I've actually set mine to this setting, which is 668, because anything really past that, you can go up to 675. So I'll just show you 675. Anything pretty much above that, it will start off by saying you're getting, you know, 16,000 souls, And then after about 20 minutes, so this is where it's key, because really you have to keep an eye on it for a good half hour. After 20 minutes, it starts to drop and it goes down to something like 1 or 2 kilosouls. So I've put it on a frequency where I feel it's quite steady, quite stable and reliable. So I can just leave it running and not have to worry about anything. But I thought that the kilosouls would drop dramatically, but it hasn't. You can see here for the last 8.5 hours, it's been averaging 14,500 kilosouls. Oh, sorry, kilosouls, I said 1,000. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good. Obviously, they advertise it does 10, so still a 40% increase on what they advertise at, so I'm happy with that. I've set up 2 pools, which one of them is pro hashing, which I'll show you on my account in a second, and that it mines whatever's the most profitable coin for me on the Equihash algorithm, but then they take a 4.5% cut, I believe, to convert the whatever you've mined into Bitcoin for you. So they only pay me in Bitcoin, that's it. So essentially then at that point I've got a Bitcoin miner, if you like. I've been checking it all day, and so far I think I've earned about $10–11 in terms of Bitcoin. So that is within the last, say, 8 hours. So I think that's pretty good. Obviously, if I leave that on all day, then you're probably looking at more like $25, something like that, which is what I was expecting, to be honest. Obviously, according to all the what to mine and everything like that, they were all saying sort of $10 a day, and I've had this figure $10 a day. Obviously, I've got in my head, I've got 2 machines running. So obviously, yeah, I was thinking $20 a day would be good, but obviously I'm just slightly doing more than that, which is really good. So as Sam agrees with me, he says that is good. Pitman says, not all chips are equal. Some you can overclock, some not so much. So yeah, it does seem like Bitmain have obviously tried to cut corners. Not cut corners, but lower costs, I suppose, on the production value. So they're using maybe not as good chips, not as powerful chips, that obviously are more cost effective. But then they must have realised, oh shit, actually this is causing an issue when you try to overclock them to 750. Because if you actually go to Bitmain, and this is what we found odd actually, that if you go over to, you have to, I think you have to sign in, or I might just be on their support page actually. I might not need to sign in. But you go to Bitmain's website and click support, and then you go to technical support, firmwares, and you pretty much select the machine you want. Now, if you go down to, say, the Z9, which is the big one that's coming out sort of in the next couple of weeks, fingers crossed, taking their time with that one. If you click firmware, you can see there's already a firmware download for it. It says overclock version, after upgrade, frequency can be changed from 500 to 550. So they're already making that one, the one that you can overclock, I suppose, slightly. When you go to Z9 Mini, bearing in mind that the Z9 Mini's already been out, so there's been a couple of firmware updates. You would expect there to be a couple of files here, but as you can see here, it's completely blank. They've removed the files, so they really don't want you to overclock these. Like, they're going well out of their way for you to do not to clock them. Luckily, one of the guys in the Telegram group chat, I won't point him out, I don't want him getting bombarded with loads of messages, but feel free to join the Telegram group chat. And I'm sure someone will help you out. But he sent me the file actually through Telegram as well, so you can literally do it all in one hit. I downloaded the file and I installed that onto both miners, and that's what allowed me to do the overclocking. So if you're getting your Z9 Minis, I suggest you do that, but it does void your warranty as soon as you do that. So just bear that in mind. Obviously do it at your own risk and peril. Bitcoin's obviously dropped again in price today, which means that obviously these machines are now less profitable than they were last week when Bitcoin was at 7.5k. I'm not looking too much into that at the moment. Sam said, which pools are you using? So the 2 that I'm using are pool hash. Let's have a little look. Pro hash, sorry. So if I go to my links, Pro Hash is this one. And then as a backup, because Pro Hash was actually down last night, so while I was trying to set this all up, as well as me trying to figure out how to use these brand new machines, this whole site was down. So yeah, that's not a good start. But this is Pro Hashing. So if you go over to their support page again, you literally just need to copy. Oh, let's log in here. Oh. Alright, maybe I won't. When you go to that support page and log in, it will come up with the address, and I will be doing a video showing that to people. I'm pretty much, now I know how to set these up and get them all up and running, I'm going to switch them off and I'm going to start all over again and record the whole process so that I can share with you guys what to do and what not to do, because you do have to be careful. There are incidences where people are changing settings on the here, and if you start skipping from page to page quickly, it can I don't know, trip up the miner, and actually they call it bricking, so it turns it into a brick. It literally doesn't do anything. So you have to be really, really careful. Make sure you know what you're doing. So I'm going to do a video, hopefully helping people do the process, because I've actually gone on YouTube myself. That's always my first port of call when I'm trying to learn how to do something. And I went to YouTube and I thought someone's going to do a video like step-by-step guide. And some people have, but they're just assuming that you know what an ASIC machine is and you know how to set it up. And they're like, right, yep, and here you go over to here and you change the clocking settings. And I'm like, whoa, 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 like, how do you even get the pull settings on there? You know, I literally had to learn it from scratch yesterday, but fair to say it was pretty easy, to be fair. So maybe that's just me being completely stupid. But yeah, that was my night last night. So I'm pretty tired, to be honest. I was up to about 1:30, and then I was up at 7. So I've only had, what's that, 5.5 hours sleep. And unfortunately to say, my mum actually had a heart attack the night before. So she was up the hospital and I went there, obviously. And that's when I was going to do my initial video, but I couldn't do it because I was by my mum's side. Thankfully, she's getting better now, but she's in hospital until Monday. Anyway, the reason I'm telling you that is, obviously a lot of people were messaging me saying, Glenn, where's the video for your Z9s? You've had them for like 2 or 3 days now and you ain't done nothing. So I was trying to reply back to everyone saying, yeah, I know, my mum's in hospital, you know, blah, blah, blah. So thankfully, I got it all set up last night. I'm going to try and do a video tonight, and obviously then I'll have to edit the video and upload it for you guys. And it'll be a step-by-step guide, like as if you're a complete noob to the whole mining and ASIC game, how to set one of these up, because that's what I could have done with last night. Luckily, I had someone there to hold my hand the whole way through it. That brings me on to costs. So this is something that I was thinking about earlier on today, because a lot of people will just talk about the cost of the machine. So you see a lot of people doing this, and I mentioned it in my video the other day. Oh yeah, the machine costs $8.50, divide that by, you know, it earns $15 a day, so you're going to make your return on investment in 56 days. And I am guilty of doing that, because that is just as a quick reference. But when I actually sat down and thought, what have I actually spent on this machine? Because I wanted to make a record of it today, because as you guys know, this is my diary, if you like. These videos that you're watching are like my diary. I can come back and watch this video and refer back to, oh yeah, I spent that much on that day, and oh yeah, I had trouble with this. So I thought it'd be good to actually keep track of, obviously, the price of Bitcoin as it is today, because I'm buying stuff today for the machine. Obviously, I only paid for the machine about a month ago, which Bitcoin was about the same price. It was about 6,200, 6,300 a month ago. So I thought this is a really good time to actually keep track of what I'm spending. So what have I written down here? Now, if you're a complete noob to ASIC mining, these are the type of things you have to take into account, which I haven't. I've gone into this just looking at this, how much the machine is. So we've got 2 Z9 minis, which at the time I paid $850 for. We have the PSU units, the power supply units, which were $105 each. You have the customs tax. Now, I've actually put 345 in there because I don't know if you guys remember, 3 of my items got delivered. So 2 Z9 minis and a PSU unit got delivered as one hit. And I got charged £290, that's British pounds, in customs tax. I then received a PSU unit on its own, but I didn't pay any import tax on that. Then the guy said to me when he delivered it, he said, "Oh, you haven't paid any import tax on this, so yeah, it's all right, it must have got through the net." But then I got a text today saying, so they're really sort of on it, I suppose. Although they should have sent this to me before, I suppose. A shipment has recently been delivered to you by DHL with a reference number, blah, blah, blah. A payment for import charges is due of £55. Please make the payment ASAP, blah, blah, blah. And then it gives me a reference to taxes and guides for the UK. So I actually, when I've quoted you guys, I got charged $290. I've actually got charged $345 all in total. So that was, again, another shock today. I've bought a shelving unit for all of this to go on. Now, I got lucky and I found a really decent solid metal one for a £10. But I noticed while I was in the DIY store that a lot of them are £50 to £100. So you really have to, if you want yours on a shelving unit, bear that in mind. Also, when it arrived, I actually looked at it and I know that they do take Ethernet cables, and it's something that, you know, I've got an Ethernet cable going into this crypto shed. But how do you split it into 5 or 6 Ethernet cables? I need one for my computer, one for my printer, one for my router, 2 for the Z9s. So I thought, shit, how do I do that? So again, I had to look into it. Now, I've gone to the nearest sort of PC shop to me, and I actually paid well over the odds. So I paid £30. And the only reason I was willing to pay that was because I went on Amazon. I found one for £10 to £15. But it said it wouldn't be here till Monday, Tuesday. Now, that at that point in time, that was yesterday. So it was Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Now, if these machines earn me $10 a day, I'm thinking, right, I've lost out on $50 already. So I'm probably better off just paying the extra 15 quid and getting one right here, right now. So I got a network switch so that everything's got Ethernet cables connected to it now. But therefore, inherently, I had to buy more Ethernet cables. Now, I actually managed to find some Ethernet cables for about 50p to £1 in an electrical store. So I didn't actually pay that much, but I had to buy about 5 or 6. So again, bear that in mind. I went into Curry's, which is like, I don't know, like a supermarket for everything tech and gadgets. If you're in America, I don't know what your equivalent is. But they wanted £10 for each Ethernet. That was the cheapest Ethernet cable they had, £10 for one. Amazon, you can probably get about 5 for about £4. But again, obviously that was wait until Tuesday. But I didn't pay too much more than what Amazon prices were anyway. Now, I call these a kettle lead, but actually it's the power cable that goes into the PSU unit to go into your main electric unit, your main plug in the wall. Again, luckily I found one lying around the house, but then someone said to me, well, Glenn, how do you know what the power is on it? Because obviously you're putting a large load into it. I tried it, he said, see if it gets hot, and it seemed absolutely fine. So that was me just gambling. Obviously I have the big Z9 turning up, and that is obviously like 4 times the power consumption. So I was thinking, shit, I need a adequate, I call it kettle lead. I don't know what they call them in America. I'll just show you what I mean. Kettle lead prices. I'm sure they've got a more technical term. Here we go, these. 2 quid, so that's not too bad, but you need to look at obviously what load that can handle. It might only be able to hold so much, and if you've got the bigger machine. So yeah, I've had to go and buy one of them for the big Z9 that's turning up. So I've also bought a watt meter reader, so I can actually tell you exactly what these machines are using. They're using 740 watts. Now, that isn't just for the Z9s. That's, I don't know if I can pan this round. It would make it easier if I can actually show you what I'm talking about. Nope, I can't see what I'm doing. So 740 watts is my Wi-Fi router, the network switch, which is dividing the internet into obviously 5 different cables, the 2 Z9 minis. I've also got a fan at the back of them, not the front, the back of them, because I want to try and get rid of the hot air that's coming out at the back. I'm not trying to push more air through the front. That's all plugged in, and altogether that's coming to about 740 watts. Mike says, will you share the spreadsheet? Yeah, if you want to. I mean, this is just one I just made really easily. And then I started taking screenshots of things that I paid for, just so, to keep it as a reference to myself. So how much you making, twatty bollocks? Well, I just showed you, didn't I? Didn't I show that a minute ago? Let's have a look. If I go back to... Let's go back to Pro Hashing. So in the last 8 hours, I've earned $12.71. As well as that, like I say, because this website was down last night, I was actually mining through my second choice, because you have to put a selection of 3 different pools that you want to use. I used one that mines Zcash. So I mined a bit of Zcash, which I think was about $5 worth last night. So let's just have a little look. Zcash, you can see there £3 worth. Obviously, that's probably about $5. So if you add the $5 onto this 12, I've earned $17 since about 1:30 last night. And now currently it's 7:30 in the afternoon in the UK. Hi Glenn, is this with 1 or 2 machines? That's with 2 machines. So you can see here that on this Pro Hashing, it shows you what you're getting. I'm getting 15,500 kilosouls. They're on mining the Equihash algorithm. They're saying that at the moment the most profitable coin is Zcash. So you can see here, this gives you all the stats. And this is my Z2, so I've labelled them Z1, Z2, keep it nice and easy. And I've actually used a bit of masking tape and I've stuck it to the side of the machine, so I know exactly which one's which. And yeah, both of them getting 15,000 souls. So you can see up here at the total, I'm getting 30,000 souls all in total. And like I say, within the last, I don't know if it says it in here, but this website only came live, I think about, I'm going to say 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning. So this is only about, I'd say 10 to 12 hours worth of mining. So that's half a day really, $12.71. So that's what I've earned so far, guys. It mines the most profitable coin. So you can see now, since we've been watching this, it's changed from Zcash to now Z Classic. So now it's going to mine Z Classic for me until something else is more profitable. And then they pay me in Bitcoin. This is my Bitcoin balance, 0.00199. But the minimum threshold to get a payout is 0.0023. So I assume within the next hour or two I'm going to hit that and I'll receive my very first payout, which will go into this wallet here. We should see my very first Bitcoin payout from mining. This was already in there. I'll probably try and remove that balance actually, so I can see exactly what I'm earning from mining. Bogdan says, did you try overclocking it yet? Yeah, we've talked about all that, Bogdan. I'm overclocking it currently and I'm achieving 15,500 souls. You can see here the equivalent of 30,000 souls. That's for 2 Z9 machines. Right, so back to the spreadsheet. So I've also bought a surge plug, which I would recommend, obviously, because you've got a large amount of power going through your machine. You don't want it to sort of trip everything else out in your house. And I've also bought a temperature reader, so I can actually monitor the temperatures. Again, that was only a couple quid. These are not things that you necessarily need. You can just, you know, if you just go out and buy one Z9, you've probably got an Ethernet cable at home. You can probably find that kettle lead. You don't need a temperature reader. You don't need the watt meter reader. You may not even need the network switch because you may have Ethernet ports in the back of your Wi-Fi router that's existing. You can put it on a shelf. So these are not things that you may like definitely need, but they're things that I've spent out on, and I want to keep track of what's come out of my bank, because the only reason I want to know that is I've actually worked out what all these things cost in US dollar terms, and you can see the total there. So for these two Z9s, all in total, I've spent 2,460 US dollars. In British pounds, that's 1,889. But more importantly, this is how much Bitcoin I have spent. 0.37883. Now, the reason I wanted to work that out was because that is going to be my figure going forward. That is going to be what I want to earn back at least. I mean, obviously, I want to earn a profit, so I want to earn more Bitcoin than that. Otherwise, I might as well have not bought any of this stuff, and I might as well have just kept 0.37 of a Bitcoin. So hopefully I'll earn that. As you can see here, I'm going to regularly, sort of every day or every couple of days, top this up with what I've actually earned. Bitcoin-wise, I'm not going to spend the Bitcoin. I'm not going to convert it. I'm not going to trade it. I'm just going to keep it in one account, and I'll always know the day that I hit my return on investment. Obviously, this is going to change, and we'll see what happens with the Equihash algorithm. So that's really it from me, guys. That's literally all I wanted to show you. Like I say, I will be doing a video, and for some of you out there that are like, you already know all the ins and outs of it, you probably won't find it that interesting, but there's probably going to be a lot of people out there that are receiving batch 2 Z9 minis, and I thought they're probably going to get them, and they're going to watch the same videos I've watched, and I didn't find them that helpful. So I'm going to try and do a really sort of like baby steps, help you guide through how to set up a Z9 mini from scratch, how to overclock it, how to reset the firmware, how to install the new firmware, and obviously set up what sort of pool you want to use. But that's really it, guys. I hope I've answered all your questions, unless you guys can think of any other ones for me. What do you guys think about this new look? I'm using a green screen behind me, so I'm not in the little box anymore. Give me a thumbs up if you like the look of this. Oh, Pitman says sound. That's a good point, actually. I tried to buy a decimal bell sound meter, but they were like 40-50 quid, and I didn't want to spend that much. I found one on Amazon. Again, it won't be here till Monday, Tuesday. But I've seen a lot of people online using I've seen a lot of people just using an app on their phone. So let's do that now, and I'll get an answer for you live now, Pitman. Hope that's good enough for you. Just wait for that to download quickly, and I will tell you the sound. So right, so this is my phone now. I honestly don't know if you can see that or not, but I'm going to go and put it right by the machines. Okay, so according to this app on my iPhone, which probably isn't that accurate to be fair, it's saying it's about 74 decibels. Now obviously I'm closer to you guys. It's saying it's around between 65 to 75. It's fluctuating quite a lot. I don't know if you can see that. So yeah, it's a lot quiet here. And did you have to turn your fans up when you overclock? No, so the fans actually do that automatically. So when you overclock your machine, See this fan speed here? The fan speed will fluctuate by itself, so it's set on auto. You can, if you want, override this, and you can actually you can up the fan speed if you want, but you know, there's no point as long as your temperatures are all right. I mean, if you look at my chip temperatures, this is the thing that you want to look at the most. From what I've seen online, you want to keep this, but the sweet spot is like 58 to 71. So really, you want sank in the 60s. You can see here, mine are all in the 60s. This one's reaching the 70 mark. Let's refresh this page actually, because I don't know how old that is. 68, 65, 66. And it does feel a bit warm in here actually. It has been quite a sunny day in the UK. You are buffering. Sorry guys. In the UK, it's been quite a sunny day, and the sun's come through this big window that's behind me. So I may get like a reflective or you know, a heat reflective blind to put behind me, because the sun was literally coming in and it was almost touching the machine. So I thought, oh god, I don't want the sun to overheat them. We are obviously going into winter in the UK, so I need to buy blinds. And I also want to, like I've mentioned it a few times, I want to build a wall, a stud wall around me, or just here, and have like a doorway. It will be cold soon, mate. Yeah. Well, last night I was in here at say half one in the morning, so temperatures were quite low outside, and all the temperatures on this were like 62. So yeah, they were a lot lower than they are now. And today I even just left the doors open to my crypto shed. Like I say, there's no neighbours really near me to hear it. Me and my wife actually, because she asked, she went, oh, how loud is it? And we were walking towards us then. She said, oh, have you got them on? I said, yeah, they're on. They're on like full pelt. She said, oh, they're not that loud then. But then when you open the door, she went, oh yeah, actually it does sound quite loud. But as soon as you walk outside again, you can't hear it. So it's literally, you can only hear it in this space, which is awesome for me, because it means I'm not going to have any issues with neighbours. It's not going to irritate me in any way if I'm ever in the garden doing something. I've left these here all day. I've had no reason to check them. I've been checking them on my phone. If you're on your home's Wi-Fi, you can actually, as long as you type in your IP address of your machine, you can actually get onto this page that I'm on now through your iPhone. So when I was in bed this morning, I woke up and I checked the temperatures and stuff. I know that's really sad, but obviously it's exciting. Yeah, I was checking them on my phone, so you don't even need to be here. You know, as soon as you leave your home's Wi-Fi, though, you can't do it on your phone. You can't check. The only way you can check is you can actually go to Pro Hashing, and that will tell you if your machine's dropped in performance. So earlier on, when I unplugged everything to put the watt meter into the wall, this actually dropped to 93%, because it does it an average over 2 hours. But now it's back up to 100%. So you can check this website anywhere, and you can sort of keep an eye on. And the good thing about this website is it tells you what you're earning profit so far a day, but it also works out. I've put in my electricity costs into this website, and they work out for you like their estimates of what you've spent on electricity. So this is what I've earned minus. This has been minused off. So really, I've earned like 13 something or whatever they estimate, and then that's my profit. So that's quite a good tool to have. Yeah, and I'm still learning. There's so much on this website. There's so much information. If you go to charts, there's just so much. But obviously, where these guys make their money is for them to mine a coin and then convert it into Bitcoin, and then them to pay me in Bitcoin. I think they take a fee of like 4.5%. So you know, that's quite high when you compare that to some of the other pools, which are only like 1%. But then obviously at some point, this is my theory, you know, my thinking behind it. if I was to mine a load of Z Classic, and then I would have to move it from obviously their wallet into whatever wallet I want it paid into, and then I'm going to have to send it to Binance, which is going to cost me something. Binance will probably have a limit or a minimum order. Then you have to convert it from that into Bitcoin and then send it to your Bitcoin address. By the time you do all that, you've lost more than 4.5% anyway. I mean, most pools take 1%, so really it's 3.5% that you're bickering about. I would rather just them do it all and I just get paid in Bitcoin. They're going to pay me every single day, so even if they fuck me about, the most I can lose is 1 day's worth of payments, and then obviously I can just change to a different pool setting. So that seems really good. I'm really happy. But yeah, that's it really, guys. Let's catch up with what you're saying. Pitman says it will be cold soon, mate. Bitcoin will never die says, thanks for your video. Can you explain how Binance decentralized exchange will work? Can each coin position itself, or does Binance still determine which coins are being placed in the future? Not too sure about that, to be honest. Obviously, there's a lot of clever people at Binance trying to figure all those sort of things out. But it would be good, obviously, being a decentralized exchange, if you could just exchange whatever for whatever. If I want to give you air miles for Bitcoin, if there was some sort of decentralized exchange that could do that, then there's true decentralization. No, at the moment, we're governed by the exchanges, yeah? So we all say, oh, yeah, Bitcoin's really decentralized, which it is if you can figure out a way of buying some and holding on to it without government knowing. But really, actually, real world ease of use terms, we're governed by what the exchanges allow us to do, in particular, obviously, Coinbase, Binance, you know, all the big ones. If someone comes up with a decentralized exchange that actually works, like that actually, you know, you could use on a day-to-day basis, then there's no one to answer to, there's nothing to shut down, there's nothing to put anyone in prison, you know, be fined, all that sort of stuff. And we're seeing this actually, a good example of this is, if you want to read about it, I don't know the full ins and outs, is Shapeshift, which actually is in Exodus. If you go to the Exodus wallet, see this little fox here, they're being forced to get everyone to fill out a KYC form, which Shapeshift was supposed to be this decentralized, you know, sort of exchange method. But apparently that's not happening now, because the guys who have created it, because it's run by a company, the government have gone to them and said, right, if you don't start monitoring everyone and doing KYCs, you're all going to prison for 10 years. So they're like, right, everyone, you've got to do a KYC, you know, and that is the unfortunate position where if something, this is why I was saying I'm becoming so much more of a Bitcoin maximalist. The only way these are going to work is if there's no one to be held accountable for it. If you can go through all the coins in the coin market cap and actually say to me, Glenn, these are the ones where no one's behind it, no one's running it, no one's updating it, you find for me more than 10 that actually do that, then you know, they're the ones that I think will hold value. All these ones, I saw Vitalik Buterin comment, I don't know if it was a joke comment, saying about, does people want to start working on Ethereum 2.0 or something? So I thought, oh, Ethereum's going to fucking just be gone soon, which means a lot of the ICOs will probably be gone. Cortana says, thanks for joining. I haven't seen you for a while. Thanks for coming back. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new to this video and you want to see me do more setup videos and stuff for my Z9 minis, please click the subscribe button. We've just hit 1,200 subscribers, so thank you for that. Let's see if we can get to 1,500. That would be awesome. I'd be really happy with that. Cortana says, you can try and put up some sound absorbing styrofoam in the shed so it will absorb the noise. We won't hear much echo as you speak. Cortana, that's a really good point. I've actually got this, I'll show you actually. I actually have this sort of acoustic. So this isn't for heat retention. This is actually for sound absorption. So I still need to finish off this side of the wall, as you guys all know, but this is purely just for sound retention. So this is going to help a lot. Obviously, I've only done half the shed, and it's doing a pretty good job so far. Obviously, once I've finished it all off, plasterboarded the whole thing, then it really will sort of hold that sound back. Then I can put some sound boards up to even dampen the sound going outwards even further. But I'm really not that worried about it, to be honest. I'm not going to go out and spend, you know, hundreds of pounds because you can't hear it. Honestly, outside, you can't hear it at all. I would say my wife hoovering is not twice as loud, but it's louder than that. So as long as you can put up with a hoover, then you'll have no issues with the Z9 minis. I can't speak for like the S9s. I've never actually seen one of them in real life. Russell says, great stuff. Bogdan says, did you calculate how much time it takes to break even? Thanks, I will smash the like button. Thanks for that. Bitcoin will never die. It's a bit of a mouthful, isn't it? Have I calculated? Well, that's really hard to say, Bogdan, because obviously we can go to what to mine, and you know, we can base it off what they say. But that isn't real world. Now, I was actually mining last night and comparing it to, you know, what tomine.com says. The figures were completely different. But saying that, it's very hard for me to make a call on it because I've only been mining for like 8 hours or 10 hours or something like that. So I can't. Once I've got, I would say, 72 hours of continuous mining on there, which obviously will take me another 2 more days. So what's today? Saturday, Sunday. So probably by the live stream that I'm going to do Sunday night. As you guys know, I do a live stream every Sunday night, 8 PM UK time. And if you want to chat to me, not just in this, you know, in the text box, if you actually want to talk, as you guys know, I open it to the Discord group. Again, the link to it should be down below. You can download the Discord app and you can actually chat in the video. So you can actually voice your opinions using, obviously, the Team Bitglen platform, which I applaud you to do. You know, as long as there's no shilling, no scamming, no abusive, you know, like behaviour. You know, you guys are more than welcome to join me. And yeah, this isn't just my channel, this is Team Bitglen's channel. But probably by Sunday, I will have like 72 hours worth of data. And obviously out of those 3 days, I can probably say, you know, like on average over the 3 days, I've mined this much Bitcoin. So if you times that by, or divide it by this figure here, the 0.37, because that's my break-even figure, I can probably work out how long it's going to take me to break even. But even that is a guesstimate, because whatever I work out today, give it 2 more weeks, we're going to have all these big Z9s out in the world. We're going to have all these ASIC miner.co's. We're going to have all the Z9 minis. We're going to have all the Silicon A9 master things. So there's going to be at least 4 big Equihash machines all being delivered to people's homes within the next couple of weeks. So the difficulty for all these coins is going to shoot right up. So I'm going to be earning less. I'm going to be earning probably half of what I am today in 2 weeks' time. That's my guess. That's my guesstimate. So even if I sit here and said to you, yeah, I'm going to break even after 3 months, in 2 months' time I could be doing another video saying, oh yeah, we've only just hit the halfway mark, you know. So I don't know. Bitcoin says, one more question. What is your opinion about Litecoin? I really like Litecoin, and you know, I really like Charlie Lee, but you have to say, him being a figurehead, there being sort of like the Litecoin Foundation behind them. If the government come along and say, Charlie Lee, we're going to arrest you unless you do this to your coin, he's probably going to do it, obviously. So therefore, I still think just Bitcoin is the way forward, guys. I honestly really do. And I want to say a big shout out actually to Travis and Russell. Russell's in the group chat now. On Sunday, they said that confidently, Bitcoin was going up in price. I can't stress this enough. Bitcoin was going up, and anyone looking at it, like all the YouTubers I've seen, they're all saying, this is it. We're going to 8K. We're going to 8.5K. They said on Sunday, well, no, the way the graph's going, it looks like Bitcoin's going to drop down to 6,800. And I said, oh, really? When do you think that'll happen? Trying to put them on the spot, put a bit of pressure on them. And they said, probably Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday come, boom, 6,800. Then it went even further. It went down to 6,400. So, well done to them. These YouTubers drawing lines and BS on the charts don't have a clue. Yeah, I mean, I don't. I literally have no idea. I actually rely on Travis and Russell to give me advice, because I actually converted the Bitcoin I had. I'll show you. When Bitcoin was at 7,350, I'm gonna say. I've only got a small holding, don't get me wrong, so this isn't like I've made thousands of pounds out of their shout, but every little helps, I suppose. I actually converted the Bitcoin I had. When I first bought that Bitcoin, it was worth £160, but because the price of Bitcoin went up to 7.5 or just under, it was worth 182. So I sold, and then I thought, oh, I'll buy back in. And obviously, if I buy back in right now, I'm actually gaining, because before I had 0.031, so I've actually gained whatever that is amount, probably like 20-30 quid's worth. But if I did have 10 grand or something like that, you know, they probably would have earned me a good 500-600 quid or something like that. But so I want to say a big well done to them. They really did call it. Literally, the only way it could have been better if I said to them, okay, well, on Wednesday or Thursday, what time? Like if I'd said, is it going to happen at 4 p.m? And if they'd got that right, do you know what I mean? I'd think, right, they've obviously got crystal balls for nuts. But yeah, I want to say a big shout to them. So I will definitely pay more attention to their opinions of what's happening to Bitcoin over the coming weeks until they screw me over and get it completely wrong. Bogdan says, I thought you are mining around the clock, but I think you should mine 24/7 because these machines becoming unprofitable very quick. Yes, Bogdan, yeah, you're completely right. I'm going to run these machines into the motherfucking ground. Don't get me wrong. You know, even if I tried to overclock them at the 750 frequency straight away. Like, I was going full hog. I'm going to fucking mine the shit out of this. And I'm going to try and get my return on investment as quick as possible before the fucking difficulty spikes. So I am trying, but that frequency that I've set them at, this 668, so I'll show you here, minor configuration, advanced settings. I couldn't do 750, I couldn't do 725, I tried 712, 700, I believe. No, that didn't work either. But once I got down to 681, 675, there was errors coming up with the processors. So I put it to 668. I left it about 40 minutes, and it's held ever since. I've had no errors. I've had no dropouts, or the temperatures haven't gone up too high. So I think I've hit the sweet spot. That's really, but that seems to be based on what other people are saying online. They're sort of saying 675 to 700, somewhere between that. So I've gone just slightly under, but hopefully that means that I can continuously get the same reading all the time. That's what I'm hoping. Crypto Noof says, nobody knows, man. Bitcoin will never die. This is a cool channel. Keep up the good work. Thanks, fat mate. Yeah, I really appreciate that. Spread the word, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe. Bitman says, like the green screen shit. Look at those bid walls, says Russell. Wow, Russell's paying attention. So, Russell, now I've just fucking kissed your ass to high heaven. Wash your what's your next call for Bitcoin? It's hovered at 6,400 for the last day or two, I'd say. So where are you saying it's going next? Another thing, Russell called ages ago in the Telegram group chat. And if you want to be a part of the Telegram group chat, the link to it is down below. It's completely free. There's no shilling, no scams. Russell said on there ages ago that Ethereum is going to get wrecked. Ethereum's going to really drop in price. And I think at the time he was like, it's going to go under $300. And it didn't. At that time, it didn't go under. But he was still confident. He was like, well, I still think it is. Here we are at $218. So he called that right. Well done, Russell. XRP down to 29 cents. Let's actually have a look at what has actually gained traction against Bitcoin. Stellar has done well. Dash has as well. Let's have a look. Holo. I've seen this. It's been on there for the last couple of days. Whatever that is, it's done pretty well. Populous, Dash, Doge. A lot of them are. So there you go. There's not that many. It's actually surprising because when you actually look at the US dollar term, I know I keep banging on about this. When you look at the US dollar terms, what things have gone up or down by, normally there's, you know, like say it's a good day, like a green day, there's always loads on there. But as soon as you click, you know, what's everything's gained against Bitcoin, there's like 4, 5. It's very rare that a cryptocurrency really pulls ahead of Bitcoin. Especially continuously. Obviously there is, like Holo has today, but will that be up? That'll probably be down 30% tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? It is all about it really is all about Bitcoin. I'm sorry to say if you've got some other coin that you really believe in. I personally sold Envian when it was at its very high. I don't think they ever had a high, did they? I think their highest was their ICO date. I remember last time I checked it, look at those bid walls. Bitcoin says Neo or Otology. Bitcoin. Crypto Nerve says, I remember last time I checked it, your live people were cussing you for Envian. What have you been doing since? So, yeah, obviously I did get a bit of slack for Envian. Obviously, I'm just a normal guy and I'm not trying to sell ICOs. I don't get paid. I don't get, you know, I don't get any sponsorship. Yeah, nothing like that. Because obviously, one, I'm not big enough. Two, I wouldn't do it anyway. And you know, I just thought, oh, a scalable solution to mining, and that's what I wanted to go down. I went down that route. I wish, and I've said it many times, that I just mined myself. I actually want to do a video. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I wanted to do a video about comparing the emotional feelings towards trading and mining, because when I earned $10 today in Bitcoin, the feeling that I got was a very satisfying fit. This sounds really like stupid and fucking like silly, but I had like a, you know, oh, I earned that. Do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I put in all the effort last night. I set the machines up right. I've done everything properly. I've gone and bought all the right stuff, and I felt like, you know, oh, I've earned that $10. Whereas if I just bought $10 of Bitcoin through Coinbase, I would have no emotional feeling towards that investment. Is that going to be a downside? Like, am I going to think, oh no, I don't want to sell my Bitcoin because, you know, I earned all that? Probably. It's probably going to hinder me than anything. But I was going to do a video comparing the two, like the emotional side of trading versus mining, because I thought that was quite interesting actually. But yeah, that was a really long answer, sorry. So since Envian, I've obviously bought my own mining and I'm doing mining myself. I'm not trusting it to any cloud mining, any ICOs. It's just, I'm just doing it for myself and that's it. Crypto North says, what did I miss? Thanks for joining, John. I've obviously talked about you in length already in this video. Russell says, we will break 200. I assume you're talking about Ethereum dropping. It does seem that way. Ethereum's dropped as far back as I can remember. I remember when Ethereum dropped from $1,000. No, it was like $1,400, and it went down to 800. And I remember I held Ethereum, and I kept saying, it's going to go back soon. Don't worry, it's going to go back. It's going to get back up there. And it's just gone down, down, down. Actually, let's have a look at Ethereum, because I'm pretty sure that's how it's played in my head. Let's have a look at the chart over the last, 6 months ideally. But let's do 1 year. Yeah, so when it was at, where was it at 1,400? Oh, obviously the highest. That's the highest it ever got to. I remember it dropped down to about 800, which was around here, so sort of February, March time. And I remember I converted all my Bitcoin into Ethereum, and I said, oh, it's going to go back up. And since then, it's just gone down, down, down. Oh, it went up a little bit, down, 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 down. So yeah, Ethereum seems to be on its last legs at the minute, which I wonder if Ethereum goes down, what's going to take the rank 2 position? Obviously is going to be Ripple by the looks of things, or it could even be Bitcoin Cash if that gets a big enough pump. Bitcoin Cash is shit, EOS is shit, Stellar I'm not too sure about at the minute. Litecoin, I'd love to see Litecoin in second place. I think it should be Bitcoin, Litecoin. I honestly believe Ripple are going to do something one day. I know a lot of people give me stick for that. I honestly feel like they're going to sign up a major bank and they're going to make some use of crypto somehow. I personally sold MVM when it was at its all-time high, so I ended up doing great from it. What are they doing, or did they do anything after the BS? I don't know, to be honest. I stopped following them a while back. I sold my MVM at, I'm going to say 40 cent, 45 cent. I'd bought them for 70 cent. So I had lost a bit, but not as much as obviously a lot of other people. Like my friend Nathan, he still, to this day, holds his £400 worth of MVM, which obviously is not worth that now. Let's see what MVM's worth. 4 cents. And that, I mean, that has never had a good day. The highest it got to was $1, which was $1.09, sorry, which is what the ICO price was. So, yeah, that's, I don't think anyone apart from Matthew Versmans, I think he's the only one who's done well out of that whole journey. Stephen says, what pool are you using? Had to break off to get my little girl to go sleep. Sorry about that, Stephen. I know your pain because I have to do that all the time. I'm using Pro Hashing and also Flypool. I'm using Flypool as my secondary one to mine Zcash as a backup. But I'm using Pro Hash, and I'll just show you it one more time. I've already showed it a few times. But yeah, so far I have mined today $13 worth of Bitcoin. They mine whatever the most profitable coin is and pay me in Bitcoin. Crypto Johnny says, I still hold 10,000 MVM. No. Johnny, why? You know, if you'd watched my videos, I said when they made that announcement, get rid of your MVM, get rid of your MVM. And even that was at 15 cent at the time. God, sorry to hear that, mate. Sorry, I was thinking about Youth Trust, Crypto North, Wall, Hey Crypto North. Damn boy, look at that green screen. Cheers, mate. Give this video a thumbs up if you like the new look of this video. Bitcoin will never die says, I bought 31 million BBS coin for 125 euros and it was too expensive. Comment is unnecessary. BBS. I've never heard of BBS. Comment is unnecessary. I don't know what you mean by that. Sorry, but what? BBS. Jesus. Oh my God. I can't. What is that? That's about 7 decimal points off 1 cent. Fucking hell. Crypto Noof says, that's interesting. You would build an emotional connection with true mining. It's a lot of work. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. It's mining is, and you get an emotional feeling from it, whether it's pleasure, pain, you know, like a buzz. You feel more connected to that cryptocurrency. I don't know if any of you out there, Crypto North, I know you've got quite a few ASIC miners. But how do you feel? I'd love to get your feedback. How do you feel about earning cryptocurrency as opposed to just buying it off an exchange? Like, would you just quickly dump coins that you'd bought off an exchange, as opposed to would you do the exact same thing if it was coins that you'd spent a month trying to mine? Do you know what I mean? Like, you've got that emotional attachment to that coin at that point in time, and depending on if you're the type of person to go, yeah, I don't care, money's money at the end of the day, or if you're like, well, actually, that took me a long hard work, I don't want to just flog it for a loss. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Cortana says, I'm not against you, but I'm just stating facts. XRP is down 79% from its January all-time high of $3.31. Yes, you're right. Absolutely right. I believe that at one point it was down like 92%, as someone was quoting. And I completely agree with you. I'm telling you now that the coin to hold on to is Bitcoin. That's the only coin to hold on to. But if I look at what people are doing, and what I read and what I hear and what I see, Ripple always seems to be there doing something, trying to team up with Tank. And if that continues, I can see them being worth more than they are today. That's all I can say. I'm not predicting where they're going. I'm just saying that I honestly think they're going to do something with someone at some time. Sam Bitcoin advertiser. It's good feeling to get paid by your miners daily, knowing that you're making profit. Don't use so many bad words, Glenn. Sorry, that's my bad mouth. I'll put some soap in my mouth. Trust Wallet by Binance. Awesome. I've never heard of Trust Wallet. Ryan joins in. He says, Neo got best chance to multiply, in my opinion. It doesn't matter. Right, this is my thing, yeah, guys. Like, and I know a lot of people, the way they talk is like, no, this is going to make the most money. Any of these coins, yeah, this is not financial advice. Any of these coins can pump 1,000,000%. You could own 10,000 Neo and it pumps 5,000 times. Yeah, it's worth $1,700. Yeah, unless you sell at that exact point when it was worth that, because I can guarantee you at some point it will lose 90% of its value. That is what we've seen. All these, like, people keep saying, oh, when's Tether, Tether's a bad example, but Cardano, when's Cardano going to go to the moon? It fucking already went to, oh, sorry, I'm swearing again. It's already been to the moon. It had a massive run up. And now where is it? It's oh, sorry, I'm swearing again. I'm getting too passionate. All these coins, yes, a lot of them will pump, and a lot of them will have good days. 90% of these are probably going to outperform Bitcoin on one given day. But unless you sell and get out of that coin, that exact hour, that exact 5 minutes, that exact day, it doesn't matter. How many of you, put your hands up or give a thumbs up, how many people saw some sort of quote saying, XRP has outperformed Bitcoin by 1,000% over the last 12 months. Who has seen that? I saw it all the time on Twitter. Bitcoin Cash has outperformed Bitcoin by 10% today. It's the coin of the future. Yes, it is. It did. Where is it today? During the fucking nitty-gritty, the tough times, which coin is steadily still there? Bitcoin. That is the one to have. I can't stress enough. I'm sorry, I'm going on about it too much. I'm just telling you, I don't know. All I can say is, me personally, my opinion, the only coin that I can see succeeding in the future, long-term wise, is Bitcoin. What's up, Fred? It's your channel. Who cares if you swear, bro? Yeah, fuck that. No, it's you know, I don't want to upset other people. Some people don't like that sort of talk. So the moon went. Well, they went to the moon, but then they came back. They came back down. Crypto North is finding the unicorns out there. The goal should be to accumulate more Bitcoin. Crypto North, he's got it. He has got it. If you own a coin, let's just say you own some Monero or Dash or Tron or Neo or Ethereum Classic. You own one of them, and one day they pump. They pump so good. They go to the moon. They go to Jupiter. They're there. That's the day you should think, yes, I've made it. I've just made £5,000. At that point, you need to have the smarts to think, I need to convert this into Bitcoin or get out. Because they're not going to go to Jupiter and then keep going and then keep going. Maybe over a long, long period. I'm talking like, if you're thinking, well, Glenn, look, I own Tron and I'm going to hold it for the next 30 years, then yeah, by all means. Because obviously, I'm sure there's people that have done videos saying, oh, Amazon's never going to be worth more than $1,000 a share or whatever, you know. And obviously now they're worth like 1 trillion, yeah? And I'm sure people said that about Apple. So I don't want to be that guy. But I'm saying to you guys that these coins will pump on any particular day. There is market manipulation going on. There is. And some people might be like, no, Glenn, you know, this coin's the most decentralized one. I don't care. It's happening. We can all tell by the graphs. We can all tell by the way the price moves, the way it moves so erratically, so altogether. It's just uncanny. Like, but there's no regulation to stop it at the moment. And I don't want to have to rely on regulation. The only way that I can see it not being manipulated like that is if it becomes so big that no one entity or group of people can put in enough money to make a dent. That's the only way I can see it not happening in the future. Or massive regulation. That's which I don't know which one's the better evil, to be honest. But you have both miners on ProHash. If heard problems with ProHash and the stats per miner. Well, if anything goes wrong with ProHash, if they go down or if the you know, they're not receiving the right signals, then the machines automatically then go to the next mining pool that you've set up. So if you actually go to your miner configuration, you can actually put in 3 pools. So if this one ever goes down, it automatically goes into this one and starts mining there. That is why last night I accumulated some. I'll just show you again for the people that have just joined the video. I accumulated this much Zcash. I've never bought Zcash. I don't own, well, I do now, but I've never owned Zcash before. But because of pro hashing, it went down last night. The miner just automatically started using these settings and started paying me in Zcash. And then obviously there's a third one. So the third one I want to do a bit of research on and sort of like see what cool ones are out there. So I've left that one blank for now because I'm not just going to put in any old random shit. Where did I get to? Frederick, thanks for joining, Fred. He's been with me from the beginning, literally. So thanks for joining, Fred. It's always good to see you, mate. Look at DGTX. It's the only one performing good in these days. Try to look at it, Glenn. DGTX. Diddy-Trex Futures. 21% against Bitcoin in the last 24 hours. Yeah, it does seem to be performing well. What is that? Fred, what? I don't know nothing about it. It's the first I've heard about it. Crypto North says, we are in the accumulation phase right now. Yes, John's right, because we've got the halvening happening in, is it 2020? May 2020, I believe. So normally what happens is the year leading up to the Bitcoin halvening, generally this is you know, based on previous history, has shown us that we've had a run up towards a halvening. And I think this next halvening is going to be killer for some people. It really is, because literally most Bitcoin miners out there are unprofitable today. Most. Almost all. I see a lot of YouTubers now creating videos saying, I'm selling my GPUs, I'm selling my ASIC miners, Voscoin done, I'm turning my ASIC miners off. You know, a lot of people are thinking the same, like they're thinking this isn't worth it. I might as well just buy Bitcoin with the electricity I would have spent on those machines. Now imagine that, and Bitcoin, the rewards for mining Bitcoin is halved. So just process that for a second. They're going to be half as profitable as they are now. And they're not profitable now. So that's going to be a real test for Bitcoin, I think. Because a lot of people will say, well, I'm not mining Bitcoin. And obviously if no one mines it, then we're fucked. Because we need it to keep running the blockchain. Bitcoin will never die. Tether is a scam, I think. Tether may cause a major crash in the future. I completely agree with you. Bitcoin will never die, and I mentioned that actually in my video last Sunday. I said I don't know why people use Tether, because why use something that is equivalent to a US dollar? Why not just convert it into US dollars? Just find some off-ramp, Coinbase, or you know, like I'm sure Binance have an option. Just convert it into US dollar. Like, why bother with something that's equivalent to US dollar? Just use US dollar. I don't get it. Do you much change in the top 20 coins in the next 12 months? It's Bitcoin, I think, will. Honestly, I don't really care about the others. This is what I'm saying. Even if Tron, I'm picking on Tron because that's the last one I remember looking at. Let's just say IOTA. IOTA probably will pump at some point in the next year. It probably will go up in the rankings. It probably will be worth double the amount that it is now. I don't care, because at some point when the bubble pops again, it will lose 90%. So why? Why not hold something that's always continuously going up? Oh, thanks for the donation, Crypto North, $2. Thank you for that. So he just used the super chat that's in the live stream. If you want to, you can make donations to this channel. Much appreciated. I actually put all the money that I gained from YouTube back into YouTube. This green screen cost me about 40 quid. Just this machine that I'm using, I bought especially for YouTube video content. So I'm always putting it back into the channel, but sometimes it takes me a month or two to actually get around to doing it. So thank you for that. I really appreciate it. Bitcoin will never die. Glen, what is crypto in your life? Side issues or main issues, and why? Oh, he's asking deep questions, but I'm really sorry. I don't know if I understand the question right. What is crypto in your life? Side issue or main issue, and why? You're going to have to elaborate on that, because I'm not actually sure what the question is. What is crypto in my life? I honestly believe that Bitcoin will be the world currency. So I don't mean it will take over all the currencies. I'm not saying that, and I don't think it's going to shut any banks down anytime soon. But what I mean is, at the minute, if I want to travel somewhere, a lot of exchanges, your currency exchanges, they will see what your money is worth against US dollar, because that is the world standard at the moment. And then obviously from US dollar into, you know, Zimbabwe dollars or whatever, Australian dollars, or, you know, whatever it is you want to convert it into. So that is the world currency, if you like, US dollar. That's the one we all look to see what our money's worth compared to US dollar. I believe one day that people will still be using banks. They will still be using cash machines. They will still be paying stuff on their contactless, because the system works. Like, it works in terms of like if I want to go and buy something, just quick, easy. You know, it's everything that we want crypto to be. I honestly believe that we will be saying, oh, look, the pound is worth 500 Satoshis at the moment. God, that's the best it's been for 6 months. That's what I see happening in the future. And at that point, I think it will be worth 100 times what it is now. I can't see why it wouldn't be worth 600,000 a coin. I can't see why it wouldn't be worth 6 million a coin. But that's, I mean, you're talking mega into the future for that. Like, 50 years time or something. But, like Crypto North was saying, this is the accumulation phase. I don't really care what the price of Bitcoin is. I don't really care how much it goes up or down by. The only reason I want to know is so that I can accumulate more Bitcoin. If I have $1,000, I'm not going to think, oh yes, Bitcoin's just gone up 20%. I've got $1,200 now. I don't care about that. I just think, oh, I wish I'd sold it for pounds and then bought some more Bitcoin when it dipped. So then instead of having 10,000 Satoshis, now I've got 12,000 Satoshis. That's the way I see it. DGTX is the future exchange like BitMEX. Mark my words, it will do 20x before the end of Q1 next year. Boom! Frederick's called it out. Crypto North says BTC dominance is at 54.9%. That will probably decrease once the alt season starts again, because everyone will start doing videos about, oh my god, Dash is going up 10%, like 10 times. And everyone will convert their Bitcoin back into the alts. But I'm just going to hold on to my Bitcoin for now. Hate myself for not buying some last week when I found it. That's a shame, Frederick. Sorry. I wish I'd got into Bitcoin, even if it was just 3 months earlier. I wish I'd got into it 3 months earlier and I started doing these 3 months before. Like, bought some S9s. I really do. Because they would have returned on investment like within 1 month, and then I would have had from then till November, December time, just fucking milking the profits. Frederick says, when Bitcoin hits 60% dominance, fun will happen to the alts again, I believe. Yeah, that's what I just said, Fred, actually. We're on the same wavelength. Cortana says, Tether is shit. English football lingo. Haha, sorry for my bad language. That's okay, Cortana. It's open here. Say whatever you feel. But that's it really from me, guys. I actually plan to do a very short video. But once again, when I do these live videos with you guys, you keep me switched on. You ask me loads of questions. It's great. I love it. I love answering all your questions. Please give this video a thumbs up before you leave. Please click the subscribe button before you go. We're at 1,200 subscribers. So I really want to say a big thank you to the 50 or so subscribers I've gained within the last couple of weeks. So that's awesome. Let's just have a little look at my channel, actually. Oh, no, not my channel. Yeah, actually my channel. Oh, look, we're on 1201. So keep clicking that subscribe button. Keep sharing it. Keep hitting the like button and all that shit. Sorry for the bad language, but it's an exciting day. I finally have started mining, and I look forward to doing more videos like this for you guys, giving you updates, new coins, what's the most profitable, all that sort of stuff. I'm really looking forward to it. Bitcoin Will Never Die says, cool man, this channel. I'm going to sleep now because I have to go to the hairdresser who doesn't accept crypto in a couple of hours. But thanks and good luck. Thank you for joining, mate. I really appreciate all your comments. That's it from me, guys. I'm going to finish up here. Don't forget to comment down below if you want to ask me anything, or if you'd like to comment on anything I'm doing right or wrong with these Z9 minis. You can also chat to me in the Telegram group chat. The link to it is down below. And if you really want to be a part of the conversation and you just don't want to hear my voice all the time, please join me Sunday, 8 PM UK time for a live stream with Team Bitglen. So that's me and some of the guys that you're seeing over in the live chat there, but actually their voices from the Discord, like a group conversation, if you like. So I applaud all of you to come join us for that. I'll be doing some videos in the week, just me playing about with the Z9s, not live ones. But I thought I'd do a live one today because this marks quite a big occasion for me that I'm mining for the first time on my own. So I thought I'd share that with you guys. So thanks for joining. I'll see you guys later in the week. Bye.